Welcome back. Today we're going to be focused on Module 3. This is Wednesday, and Wednesday is very beefy.
Hump day.
Yeah, it's hump day. There's a lot of stuff to cover in Wednesday. I want to reiterate that, the agent has to block out some time in the afternoon because this is a momentum building schedule, game plan, action plan. So there will be opportunities to hopefully, in the short term rather than the long term, do buyer consults and listing presentations. Mm-hmm. So we can kind of chunk some of this together. We may want to omit some of this stuff. So we're going to go through it step by step and allow agents the opportunity to kind of break this up as they see fit. But it's Wednesday. How are we going to start our day?
Hot sheet.
Hot sheet.
Yep.
And then what?
Follow up.
Well, and I think it's interesting because in Tuesday's module, we talked about a little internet lead generation through classified advertising sites, Facebook Marketplace. So there is a strong chance that there may be some people to follow up with other than your cousin, your mom, your neighbor, your first grade teacher. Yeah. So, and you're going to see that just snowball throughout this process. Okay, so Wednesday, we're back to Facebook Live.
Right back into it.
I want to do another Facebook Live. And I want this, we're going to spend a bulk of our time Wednesday outside of the office doing marketing activities, specifically with video. I've got actually 2 videos I want to shoot on Wednesday. But to me, I know in the short term, it's like this is a make your skin crawl activity. Mm-hmm. But if you're anything like me, when I started out, very, very nervous, had to do a bunch of takes over. I had the flip video camera. Were you too young to remember the flip video camera?
Is that the one, the big JVC? You used the one with the built-in mic?
No, this is a handheld one.
Held it up like that during it, doing your selfies?
No, that would have been awkward.
Yeah.
But you'd have to, I'd click record, I'd run around in front of it, say my piece, and then go back home and edit it. It had just a very primitive editing software, but that's how it all started out. But once I first got that first lead, and that lead turned into a nice check, I was like, there's really something to this.
It's worth it.
Yes. Yeah, so the agent out there just has to hang on long enough
to get one little taste.
And then you should be hooked.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so the Facebook Live video, that's our preferred method of video communication. It can be a pre-recorded video. But the faster you can evolve to a Facebook Live video, the better it's going to be. You agree?
I would agree. I guess my question is always just the same. Is that just because everybody's notified, or is it because people generally appreciate the authenticity?
Ooh, that's a good question. All right, because I think agents that are out there watching, and this could be an insurance agent out there watching.
Anybody.
This is the same thing. This is not industry specific, but Facebook Live, at least right now, as this is being filmed, helps build an audience for your videos. So it's like free advertising.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing. You could be an agent who's moved to a marketplace, a new marketplace, and they don't really know that many people, and the people back home in Iowa could care less about what you're doing.
They don't even have Facebook.
Yeah. So
they're still on MySpace.
They don't even have internet.
Dial up.
But Facebook is going to help you build an audience that you may not even have.
Yeah.
So, and it's constantly doing that. So you're going to get more of an organic reach from your Facebook Live.
Makes sense.
Yep. Okay, so.
Pause you there. Can you tuck that cable back into your...
Oh.
Hanging
could have been
out.
worse. Something else could have been out.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
It's about that. It's
could
girthy.
have
it's about
been
that
worse.
Girth-wise.
This is G-rated stuff we produce.
Yeah, it's not that kind of. This is a family show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Oh boy. Maybe we can put together an outtakes video, like a little bloopers.
We can put it on the app too.
Yeah, put a little bloopers on there.
Then there's no surprises.
All right. So the focus of this video, the first video we're going to shoot, we're going to go to the house that we're holding open. I think it needs to be specific. One of the gripes I have with agents, whether they're doing a live video, a pre-recorded video, but they're walking through the house or they're out in front of the house, they're talking about too many details of the house.
I get it. Like, I know I do that too, but I think it's just a natural, easy way to do what we do, which is I'm or I'm going to show you through the internet this house.
I
Just
think
like
it's
I
too
would
much.
if you were here.
Yeah, I think it's too much.
I get it.
I think there needs to be singularity of focus in all things, and that we need to pick an amenity. It could have an amazing backyard. It could have an amazing kitchen, but we also, it's all about, like we were talking about on Monday, building the buzz. Really getting curiosity going and anticipation, and people going, hey, I need to go see that house. So Monday, maybe you were talking about the uniqueness of this particular amenity. Maybe on Wednesday, you're in front of that kitchen and you say, gosh, if you think this kitchen is nice, wait till you see the rest of the house. You got to come Sunday from 2 to 4. I'm going to be here at 123 Main Street, and there's so much more to this house.
Giving them that little teaser, but not to throw a wrench into it. But what do you do if you just have? If I'm out there and I go, Jason, that's all well and good if I have a, beautiful kitchen that costed $40,000. But what happens if I'm in a basic house, Formica, pressed board cabinets, linoleum? It's priced right, but where do I focus in? Because that's going to be the objection you get with the person watching this at home.
Well, I think there are two avenues the agent can go down in that regard. And we've had some discussion about this in the formulation of this plan, because you may be in a subdivision where literally the only amenity is sidewalks.
Yeah.
I think there's a humorous route we can go with this.
Yeah.
I think that infusing humor into your videos is going to make it very, very attractive. In a sense, humor is marketing. It's one of the best marketing tools you could use. But the other thing that we're talking about there, if we're in a first-time homebuyer situation, and there is an opportunity, we're kind of getting in on the ground floor. So you can use this as an opportunity to showcase an equity building opportunity. So we're in a basic house, low price point, basic amenities, Formica tops, no hardwood floors, you got carpet everywhere. Here's an area where you can come in, dress this house up, and in 5 years, after you build equity, sell it for a nice profit. It's going to be much more marketable with these features, but you can really showcase the investment opportunity of the property.
Yeah. It's
So
still value.
It's still value.
It's probably more appealing, actually. That's a different way of looking at it. I mean, if you got a house it looks like it's a rough one, but you know that somebody's going to buy it because it's $100,000, it can rent for $1,500. To me, that's much more enticing off doing an open house and doing this whole perfect week, because somebody's out there is going, that makes sense.
Well, I call this activation content.
Yeah.
So I could be speaking to a first-time home buyer. We have to go back to the fact that, the American dream is all about wealth building. And it is one of the top wealth building avenues of, an American. So if you're looking at a property that is going to have more value, more appeal, as you take on these little projects, a bathroom remodel, replacing the carpet with tile or hardwood, that kind of sweat equity is going to build. But you also, like you said, could be talking to an investor.
Yeah.
Or somebody may want to live in this house for 2 years, rent it out, pull the equity out to go buy another house, and here we go. Here we go. We start building a portfolio. Yeah, you've got a repeat buyer. And if we meet and I show you this process of how to build a rental portfolio while living in and investing in these homes and start building this wealth, do you think you might have a couple good things to say about me to somebody in the grocery store?
Absolutely. You're the subject expert.
Right. Okay. All right. So I want everybody to also, when they post these videos, to not, this is one of my gripes. Agents create videos. They just post the video on Facebook. There's no text description. There's nothing in the remarks. There's no remarks. It's just a video. They expect everybody just to watch it.
Sounds all right.
If you do that, I may have to roll this up and swatch you. But
I think you wish it was that easy. Everybody does, right?
yeah.
Everybody wants to win the lottery. No one wants to save $1 a day. I mean, it's not uncommon. It's just, it'd be nice if it worked that way.
Well, I think, the research right now is like 85% or so of all videos are consumed without the sound on. We're really talking here at the ground floor level of this, so you're probably not going to have those videos transcribed. So some people may just see you in front of a house and go, oh, there's Blake Ray's out working again. And then, okay, so here's a call to action, and there's some remarks in there that I can read. So I can kind of read it. Oh, see the cell phone number, see a call to action, see the video content, and I just make this association of Blake Ray equals productive real estate agent.
I think even realtors watching this, even if they don't want to admit it, we all have that agent on our feed that constantly comes through. And you're like, I don't ever see that guy selling real estate. I don't ever see that lady doing anything but real estate. She ain't selling anything. She's doing Facebook Live videos. But what you're forgetting is you're seeing her, and she's coming out of your mouth. So
Top of mind awareness.
Yep.
Top of mind awareness. Okay, so all of the text you put in the remarks section needs a call to action. So before you leave the house, I want you to install a writer or put your open house sign in the ground. We want to start advertising the home to people driving by. So let them know the open house is going to be Sunday 2 to 4. So that may require a very minimal investment to get an arrow directional or just something, just plain Jane, to stick in the ground saying, I'm going to be here from Sunday to 2 before, from 2 to 4 p.m. The sellers are going to love this. They're going to feel like, wow, you're really prepared, you're really professional, and there's really just, again, an action plan around. There's a marketing plan. Number one thing they want, market knowledge.
Yep.
Number two, marketing plans. They're like, wow, this agent knows their stuff, and there's a plan of action around this to market my open house to make sure the most amount of people come through. Now, the next video, I think, should be somewhere around the entrance of the subdivision. If it's not a subdivision, it could be kind of in a landmark area situation. If it has to be in front of the house or in the middle of the street, on a quiet street or at a dead-end street, that's fine. But we're going to do a market snapshot video, which I know you are very familiar with.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the only one I do
Yeah.
a lot of times. Or when I was starting, that was the only one I
Yeah.
did.
So basically all we're doing is we're taking this MLS hot sheet research and the
Yep.
MLS research you did on Monday and just applying it to the video. You could go a little bit deeper. You could talk about average or median sales prices. You could talk about days on market. But basically, again, hey, this is Blake Ray, JWRE, hosting an open house here at 123 Main Street, Sunday from 2 to 4. Just want to give you some details on this subdivision. Right now, there are this many current active listings, this many pendings.
Right. That's the beauty about numbers. I want to say, like, there's no bad way it can come out. Even if your house is grossly overpriced, there's a number that you can find that you can come out and be like, well, it is only 106 a square foot, and last year this neighborhood was selling at 110. Like, the numbers are there to help you, but you're only going to look at the one. That's why you can't. You got to dig a little deeper. Go for average sales price. Go for average days on market. There's 8,000 different ways you can provide content with that.
And I love when the agent can portray trending data.
Yeah.
Trending data, whether it's trending down, whether it's trending up. It's really, really strong. It really gives you that professional kind of appearance to the consumer, which they love. All right, so here's where I'm going to give them some options. I've got, we've shot our market snapshot video, our market report video, you may call it. We're going to go back to the office now, and we're going to do circle dialing, or we're going to stay in the subdivision and do door knocking. Now, I personally am not a door knocker, and you said that consistency is key here, right?
Right.
So if I do some serious self-reflection, and I know that I can't consistently be a door knocker because knocking on the doors of strangers stresses me out.
It's not fun, but
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
very rarely.
It's profitable, right? I mean, we know a lot of
Right.
agents that make them.
If you knock on 1 million doors, you will make over $100,000 in your first year. You can almost guarantee that.
And it might be nice to go out and knock on doors if you're in a subdivision in, California, where there's no humidity, or Michigan. But
Yeah.
in Alabama, you go knock on
For
some
real.
doors. If you knock on doors and this get up,
It's not going to be.
might as well
good.
go swimming in
yeah,
a pool.
they're going to be like, "What happened to you? Are you
Yeah.
okay?" Yeah.
Should we call an ambulance?
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of circle dialing, and this is a farming method that can be utilized. It is going to take an investment. We use Co-Realty Resource as our platform for this. It is not overly expensive, but for the new agent, it is not very, very inexpensive, I would say. So maybe by default, you've got to go to the door knocking option.
Well, I think it's the difference between sweat equity and real equity. Like real money to buy Co-Realty, in my opinion, you need an auto dialer to really work through, because some of these neighborhoods have a lot of houses. So you need that. Not to say you can't do it, but if you just get off your butt and go and knock on doors, and I'll be honest, I don't do it enough, but I have been yelled, cursed at more, not a lot anyways, but more on the phone than going up and knocking on someone's door. You will be surprised at the welcoming you get. I think that needs to be debunked, door knocking. I think people get really scared of that. And I had an unbelievable conversation about the Washington Redskins for about 30 minutes with a gentleman who I knocked on his door in downtown Fairhope, Alabama. I mean, he just wanted to talk sports. Little things like that, you hope will come back and pay dividends, but my mindset was, please don't curse, please don't curse, please don't shoot.
Yeah, and it may be overwhelming to an agent out there watching. They're saying, wow, there's 500 homes in this subdivision. I live in the South, or maybe it's not the greatest neighborhood. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I know that we've got a lot of females in the industry. There could be some safety concerns.
Right.
But to simplify it, I think we can have kind of what I call this a 30-house rule. So we're going to go 10 houses to the right, 10 houses to the left, and 10 across the street. You can start out with just your business card. If you got a white space on the back or on the front, you can just put open house 2 to 4, 123 Main Street, stick it in the door, done.
Yeah.
It would be great if you had a door hanger. Again, it's going to require investment, but it's going to be a modest investment.